I'm DJ Profile from London, UK, East Side, Hackney originally, now moved out to the suburbs of East London. I got my name from an old American house label. Like I was doing it like at my cousin's in New York, this is years ago now, and I just needed to do a mixtape and I needed a name, I didn't have a DJ name, I couldn't think, and then there's this record just sitting there and it had Profile on the record, and I thought, oh, that sounds all right. I just used that as for the mixtape, and then ever since then it just stuck with me. Like my dad was into like he was in the reggae sound system, so I've grown up around music and DJing ever since I was born, but always been around reggae music mainly, and started mixing. I just started getting into like the sort of early jungle, and just wanted to mix really from then. I mean, where I lived, you got like DJ Brocky, lived right across the road from where I lived, MC Det as well, and them guys, when they were doing their thing, I just found an interest in it, so I just started mixing from then really. I went to school like in East London, in like Bow, where a lot of the grime guys are from, and like at that time, like a lot of us were into reggae, but there was a few kids there that were into like jungle, and so they gave me a few tapes and I listened to them and like just really liked the music. So, and then as well with Brocky, he was one of the biggest DJs at that time, and him living there was just kind of helped me along. In the earlier days, I wasn't into production. I managed to get a job at Black Market Records, which was an iconic worldwide record store for drum and bass, and working there with people like Ray Keith, Nicky Black Market, Ash Attack, Clarky, those guys. Clarky was involved in Metalheads, which like everyone knows Metalheads in drum and bass, and you got Ray Keith, legendary producer, DJ, Nicky Black Market. So being around those guys, it helped a lot, you know, having the access to the music as well. So people just, I think, I used to mix in the shop and people used to just be interested. Promoters would come in the shop and say, oh, do you want to book in for like an early slot? And it just grew and grew from there. And then I play it like shows, and then other promoters would be there. The first show in Canada, it was Nicky Black Market was supposed to play, and I think his first child was being born. And I think he put me forward to say, look, this guy is really good, get him out there. And then they got me out there, and when I played, it was like, from there, just everyone just took to the set, and they just got me back, and then more and more promoters started getting me, and then just a network throughout North America. Nowadays, a true DJ is like a selector, like the old days, the old reggae sound systems. None of them mixed and blend. That was more of a hip hop. Those guys was all about the right selection of songs to get a party DJ. So, I mean, even now, you've got a lot of the guys, they're producers and they're just testing their own music. But back then, it weren't like that. A DJ was a DJ, a producer was a producer. So, you know, if you got it to the right DJ, he could break your song. But now, it's like, you know, kids will make their own music, play their own music, and it's kind of lost that selection in the sets now. We hear a lot of the sets, and there's only a few DJs that are still got that party, make it a real party, because that's what it's about. People go out to enjoy themselves. They don't go out because they want to hear the latest record. Like that, you want to hear that in the set as well as enjoying yourself. You know, there's radio, there's now like SoundCloud where you can push new music. So you don't have to do it in a rave, the whole set. You can just one or two new ones, a couple of party songs, and that's what it's all about really. Because every DJ's got their own flavour and style, so it just depends on me personally what mood I'm in that day. For drum and bass, it could be any given day. DJ Hype, it could be Hazard, Nicky Black Market, Brocky. There's such a list of, but they all play their own unique style. I think it was Origin that was like, he's been producing a lot of stuff with Pleasure, and he just kept saying to me, oh, you need to get on the production all the time. And I'll be like, yeah, I will one day, I'll do it one day. And then just one day I just decided to just sit in with him, and then we made Killer Instinct, which ended up being quite a big dance floor tune. And then from there, just started getting into it more and more. Now I'm working with like New Elements a lot. I work with Turno. The DJ is more about being an artist now, because people come out to shows because they know your music rather than for your DJing skills. But it helps to have a DJing skill to still be entertaining as a DJ. But I think now you have to be an artist rather than just a DJ. That's a thing of the past now. I just think I'm just used to it. I've played with the different versions of it from about Logic 7. So just the interface, I'm just used to the interface. And because it was Mac, and I've always had a Mac from a long time ago, I just think I'm used to the interface more than anything. But really, it's just about testing the tunes first, and then we just, you see the reaction and just go from there. It could be either I've got a label myself now with Brocky called Octave, so I can either, if it's the right sound for the label, I can sign it to myself, or I can sign it to some. Depends, because I make various styles of drum and bass, so it's not just jump up. I make jump up, try and make a bit of liquid, I've got Octave recordings with DJ Brocky. First release is end of October. Serious Shit EP featuring Rough Stuff, Thriller, Probe, myself, New Elements, Turno, Version. So that's a 5-track EP coming at end of October. And we've got a Bar Rage mix as well. Producing another album, Bar Rage for Funstar, like drum and bass tracks. And I've got an EP on Subway Sounds as well, sometime next year. Just working on tracks for that as well.